Hello there, Master Hellish here, and welcome to our OpenTTD Mod Dev Workshop night here on Friday night. I hope you have all had a very good week so far, and you all got some good stuff at the weekend coming up. Hello everybody, I can see we've got various people popping in, including one of our moderators over here, Simulator Adventures. Hello and welcome, and of course some channel members as too. Robin's in there and Fran the Man too. We're going to try and finish a script today. So we started this series with an experiment and that went okay, so we thought we'd do a proper one. And for the last, hang on, is this episode 4? This can't be episode 4. Is this only the 4th mod dev stream we've done? Because number 1 doesn't count. That means 2 and 3. Nah, this must be number... I bet we got it numbered wrong, haven't we? We got it numbered wrong. Oh no, the numbering system's gone out the window. The thing is, when I number my live streams, it's a manual process. I haven't got anything that does it automatically for me. Let me have a look. Let me have a look in the list. I've got a list. I can't show you the list because it's got a lot of spoilers on it. And we don't want spoilers, do we? Do we? Yeah, number 4 was last time. This is number 5. Right, I'm going to change it now. Change the title. Cargo delivery scripts number... Oh, hang on a minute. No. It's Cargo Delivery Script 4, Mod Dev Workshop 5. There we go. So it's only a small change. If you refresh, everybody refresh. So this is... the 4th time that we've doing this script. We're going to try and get it done today. But yes, episode 5. Let's update that. That's Mod Dev Workshop. I think then, like, all my list is one out. But I can just quickly go down the list and fix it. There we go. I fixed it. Shouldn't be a problem in the future. Should we show everybody what we've done over the last 3 Mod Dev Workshops, shall we? Let's jump into OpenTTD. Here we go, we're in a game of OpenTTD. It's the beginning of a game. And if we go up here, there's a cargo delivery table. And in that cargo delivery table, it just says our unnamed company. And it tells us that we're tracking passengers. Ooh. Now, if you have a look in the game script settings, we have our cargo tracker script. And we can choose the ID of the cargo to track. Now, you can't change this once you're in the game. It does let you, but it won't do anything. You're supposed to set that before you start your game up. Maybe that's a feature we change in the future. But for now, we set the ID to 0. That's passengers. It tells us passengers. If we want to know the IDs, we can go to the debug screen, and it tells you about the Master Hellish cargo tracker, the current cargo ID, and the point scoring thing, which... that shouldn't be there. That's old. But here's the list of cargoes. We can fix that. Definitely. How embarrassing. Yeah, well, there you go. Alpin did a gift membership. Ooh, thank you very much for the gift membership. Wow, what we got over here? Let's see. Who got your gift membership? It was Mark. There we go. Thank you very much for the gift membership. So then what we're going to do now is get this script finished to the point where it's done, dusted and rounded off. And then we can just list the features that we want to add to it in the future and we can release version 1. Now, yeah, ChegzoKid is also currently working on this as well. So up until now, it's just been me. But ChegzoKid started getting in on the action as well. So first things first, I'm going to get rid of this use point scoring. This is an old flag thing that we used to have. So let's jump over to VS Code. Here we go. This is VS Code. And here's the code for that script. Okay, now in here it's saying use point scoring, this point scoring, okay? But we don't actually need that setting anymore. We got rid of it. So we're going to get that out of there and the pulling of that in, and we don't need that variable. There we go. Just clean that out, because what we used to have is point scoring options, because I was thinking about doing it, but I was like, well, no, if we're going to do this, it'll be a future stream. Okay, it'll be a future feature. And a super chat as well. Thank you very much for the super chat. Message reads, hope you have a wonderful stream. Well, thank you very much. I'm sure we will. Adam says, should where the script is in the OpenTTD directory, you only see zips in your installation. You said that it is in a file, in a folder. No, it's not in a file. It's in a folder. Apparently, you can put zips in there. You can compress them, or you can just put the folders in there. So that's all fine. So yes, I've got rid of that. We don't need that. In fact, it's just debug information anyway. Gone. Right. So yes, and if we unpause the game, nothing happens. But what we can do is get our company and name it. I don't know if it'll pick up the... I think it'll pick up the name. Let's have a look. Dave. So now, when it comes around to the February... I see it doesn't pick it up yet. And there's a reason for this, okay? The reason is that we haven't built our HQ. And that is a precondition of this script. You must build a HQ. So let's put a HQ down. And if we fast forward past a month, you can see that our name in the cargo delivery table has changed to Dave. And that we can then, if we deliver some actual cargo, the number will change. So, one there. Just deliver any passengers at all. I have got my fast forward set a bit quick. The time shoots by too much. I've got it set to no limit. Let's make it 25 times speed. So, Simulator Adventure says, I've always wondered how games can read mods that are compressed in zips. It's probably because when it reads the folder, it uncompresses it in memory and then just stores it in memory. That's a guess. That's a guess. Yeah, because the extractor that reads the zip is probably part of the game code. Ron Scene. Oh, okay, let's nip back here then. So what I'm doing is I'm just updating the fast forward game speed. Okay. So then I can just tell the vehicles to go to the 2 different locations. There we go. Out it goes. We can keep an eye on the cargo delivered. We've delivered 0 passengers. If we fast forward, still 0 because we haven't made a trip yet. Fast forward a bit more. Past the end of August. And there we go. We've delivered 27 passengers. And then next month we delivered 120. So this cargo tracker works. And it works for multiplayer as well. But we've got a few things we need to do. Okay. Zip can be read by the code of a program. Usually need a library. Yes. So that's what I mean. There's usually some sort of library or something which can read that code. Now, what we need to do is that I have added a to-do list.txt into the cargo tracker. Basically, there's bits that we need to do, and then I've got a list of possible features. So a possible feature to change the cargo mid-game. I think that's the bit that Chegzo Kid's looking at. And also to give points rather than just adding up the cargo. That's a feature that we thought we could potentially do. And also check for the HQ move-ins and a parameter to whether allow it or not. So allow companies to move their HQ to a new town, because if you do that, it will start collecting the amount of cargo that has been gone from that town, and we might need to make some adjustments. So for now, we're just assuming that people are placing their HQs and that it's fine. But what we need is to be able to load and save. And we need to be able to handle all the events that might happen and affect us, correct the language folder, and we need some instructions for the users. Because at the minute, nothing happens. You just go in and you have to know what to do. And then unless you've read the README file, which is, well, empty at the minute pretty much, you haven't got a choice. You don't know. So we've got a few bits to do here. Now, I think, if I remember correctly, Chegzo Kid actually added the save and load feature. So if you bear with me a moment, I'm just going to nip over to the GitHub and have a look. Save and load is done, and it's a PR. Right. Well, in that case, I might just pull it in. Let's have a look. So now, unfortunately, I'm not logged in for you guys to be able to see this. So let's get me logged in. If I can remember my credentials. And whilst we're here, I'll also save it as a favourite on my favourites bar. Right, I'll show you this in a second once I've figured out if I can sign in or not. I can't remember what credentials I use. I mean, I can go and find out what my credentials are, I think. Bear me a second. Because I haven't done this before. This is the first time I've logged into the GitHub from a stream like this. So it might be that after I've done it once, we're okay for the future. You tested it on single player and 10 AI players and saved and load worked no issues. Yeah, I mean, saving and loading is not too bad. It's a relatively straightforward to implement, but we'll bring it in. Mod is progressing right along. Yeah, I'm hoping to get version 1 done and sorted, and we'll move on next week to something else. Do you want me to post the code in Discord and you can copy? No, I want to do it the proper way, if I can. So let's have a look. GitHub. Let's check my credentials. What have I got here? How are we all doing? Yes, I found it. Okay, bear me. I'll just pop those credentials in there. The thing is, I have 2 or 3 different ways that I store my credentials for different reasons. Right, save my credentials, close that, and then I can show you because it's in this screen. Haha! Right, so this is the GitHub for it, and we've got 2 pull requests. We've got, and this is the one we're talking about. Now, there's an update README file extension. We can see here that it was swapped down to a markdown file for the README files. Okay, it's a markdown. All right, now I saw this, and then I went and looked at all the examples I have, and all of the examples I have are text files. So I wanted to look into this as to the reason why and what's going on and all that sort of thing. So we'll come back to that one later, but added load and save function. Okay, so this is CheckSoKid. They've done 1 commit adding that, and they've reviewed a request. There's no conflicts. Let's have a look at the commit here. Right, now, I have made changes to mine. It might be alright. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. So this is the update that CheckSoKid did. CheckSoKid added a games loaded. Then put an if statement in. You might end up doing multiple versions for the multi-cargo, so can cope for vanilla and furrows, etc. Yeah, I don't think we want to do multi-cargo with this script, CheckSoKid, but we'll see. We will see. I mean, really, it's just an ID, so you just need a list of IDs. So if you put it through the right function, you should be okay. And then there's this is the save and load functions. Okay. The reason why we need game loaded or not is because we only create the company league table if the game has not been loaded. Right, so I'm happy with these changes. So I'm going to go review all the changes, leave a comment. I'm going to approve it, saying all good, thanks. I'm going to submit my review. We'll get it pulled into the code base. There we go. Change it. Now we're going to squash and merge. Now, one note on this though, folks. Because we've got multiple scripts in the same repository, if you do any work on this, please put the script name in your commit. So this is update main.nut, added load and save for cargo tracker. Okay. And then there's the extended description there. So now that's all been merged. You see, look, we've got the merge at the top there. Maybe I can make that slightly bigger. And the thing is now is that I need to pull those changes back into my local. So let's do that. So if we go here, I've got changes that I still need to commit. Because I did this change here. Right? I removed all that rubbish. Now, is anyone allowed to work on this? Yeah, yeah. Anybody's allowed to work on it. It's there. It's a public repo. But it would be best if it was coordinated work. So, anyway. What are we doing? So, yeah, these changes here, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to discard them. Because I can't be bothered to be messing around with different commits. You see, it's recognized that we've got a change to pull in, so we'll pull that in. There we go. And now you can see that we have, thanks to ChexoKid, our save and load functions. Yeah, anybody can contribute to the whole repo with all the scripts, all of the GRFs and things that we're doing. It's kind of a community thing. This isn't just a me thing. This is me and the community too. Okay, but please don't bombard me with pull requests. Do your best to coordinate as well as you can, etc. Now, let's get rid of the things that I don't want now. So we're going to get rid of the point scoring code that doesn't need to be in there. And I'm going to have to be honest, I don't like this games loaded variable. I think games loaded, it might be a language thing, but for me, you want something like game was loaded or game is loaded. See here, this is where we're setting it. Okay, so we're going to say game was loaded. So we know that if that's a 1, game was loaded true. Okay, now some people might disagree. Some people might say, well, it works, why are you changing it? But to be honest, if somebody's reading this code, let me see, and they get to... Where's the init? I've gone too far. It's quite difficult to read sometimes when you when you're zoomed in this much, but you guys need to see it, don't you? Where is it? Yeah, here it is. So if game was loaded, then we create the league table. Oh no, not loaded. Okay, so that's not. So if game was loaded is false. Yeah, line 61, 62. Now the problem is that this is the wrong polarity. Really. And I mean this is okay again. Can we use not? Can you go not game was loaded or something? Anyway, this works and that's better. I would. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Exclamation part. Oh, I accidentally did page. What's it? Let's have a look. Well, we can give it a test. The nuh-uh of programming. Let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. Okay, so I've saved this, and now I've got a script, a mini script that transfers the files from this repository over to my OpenTTD save. Okay, so I can now go back into OpenTTD and just do reload. No loaded to reload. Is it reload? Restart. There we go. So we restart the game. We have a table and we can do stuff. Let's quickly get something in again, but this time we're going to save and load the game and see what happens. Oh, you guys can't see yet. Okay, let's get that bus in. Don't need to go to the depot. Right, and the HQ. Right, so if we look at the table, there's the cargo delivery table. It's unnamed at the moment, but as soon as you get your HQ down and it goes into the next month, it updates with the correct name and then it updates with the correct quantity. Now what we're going to do is pause, save the game. We're going to save it as cargo tracker test 001. Oh, we crashed. Use point scoring does not exist. Oh, because it's trying to save and load point scoring, and I didn't remove it properly. That's not ChexoKid's fault. That's ChexoKid putting something in that we're not using. So that used point scoring. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. There we go. Right. We don't want that. Transfer the files over and reload the game. Okay, there we go. Restarted. Is there anything quicker than buses? We do 2 airports, couldn't that? 2 large airports. Let's just get the buses back in. I know you guys didn't see that, but I was literally deleting a line of code from the load and a line of code from the save. Who's looking forward to tomorrow's video? Does anybody know what tomorrow's video is? Anybody here now watching know what that is? Oh yeah, let's get the HQ down. Right. So, we fast forward, the name train changes and it tracks the cargo. Pause it, let's try again. So save, cargo tracker, save, overwrite it. No errors this time because I didn't cause any. And now we should be able to load the game. And when... Did I click load? Yep. And we loaded the game and there's 1 cargo delivery table and the data's still there. So saving and loading works. Tomorrow's video is the face reveal. Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Oh, it's showing with the members. Oh, because anybody with membership plus on YouTube sometimes gets videos early, so they've got that video today. Yeah, the exclamation mark in front did work, so jobs are good. So saving and loading works. We can tick that off the list. Whoosh. Where's the list? The to-do list. Here we go. Saving and loading. Thank you, Chegzo Kid. Not only did you do that, but I broke it and fixed it. Jobs are good. Now we need to do the language stuff and handle all of the appropriate events. So let's go have a look at the events. I forgot that when I set things to members first, that it shows up for everybody. It's just you can't watch it yet. That must be a bit of a tease. That must be a bit of a tease. Let's go over to the documentation and have a look. So in the event section, we've got something coming via the admin port. Company going bankrupt. Ooh, now if a company goes bankrupt, we do need to handle that because we need to remove them, I think. Yeah, we probably need to remove them. Let's make a note of that. So, bankrupt. Company in trouble, don't care. Merger, that's similar to a bankruptcy. Now with a merger, do we take the cargo amount from one and add it to the other? That's an interesting question. Company new, I'm pretty sure we're doing that one already. Company renamed, I think we're doing that one already. A couple of these we are doing on. Remove them or mark them as removed. Ah, that's a good point actually, Jackie. We could just put like some brackets next to their name and just say that they've gone. But yeah, that should be fine actually. Would you want to see the data for the bankrupt businesses? Yeah, maybe. But the problem is that if a business comes back with the same ID, it would take the same slot. Okay, so event, company, town. Events involving a town and a company. Don't care about that. Goal, question, answer. Industry, close, industry. President rename, we don't care about that. First vehicle, we don't care. Story page button click, and don't care about that either. Subsidy awarded, no, no. Subsidy, subsidy, subsidy. Town funded, vehicle crash. Window widget click. So they are the only events I think we need to deal with. Okay, so let's have a look at that. So these are the 4 events I think we need to handle. Okay, company bankrupt, company merger, company new, company renamed, and I think we deal with some of them already. So let's have a look. So that's the script start. That's the init that happens, and this is where we're handling events. Oh, that's right. I remember now. Look, the company renamed event is actually for version 15. The ID should be unique. As sure as the game would keep that. You know what? I'm not sure it is unique. I think the company ID gets renewed. Remember, it's not an identifier. It's the ID of the company, and I think it gets used again. Perhaps you could archive the data on another list for the bankrupt businesses. We could potentially move bankrupt businesses to a different league table. But if we did that, I feel that would be a feature for the future. What do you reckon, guys? Should we include that? So the rename company thing, that's something else, and we're doing the new. Okay, so looking at this, we just now have to deal with the merger and bankrupt. Okay, and for now, what we'll do is I think we'll remove them. Yeah, the company ID is not unique, says Red Slime. Yeah, that does sound like something that at some point I've known. So if a company goes bankrupt or gets merged and comes back as a new company, then it's going to mess up the league table if we leave them in there. So for now, it's a rather trivial feature. It could be. You got to remember, I'm still learning. I'm still new at this. I'm still new to the language. I'm still new to modding. I'm still new to streaming and deving. I know this is stream number 5. You'd have thought I might have figured it out by now. But you got to remember, it took me nearly 12 years to get my main content to the level it's at today. So that's slow, right? So let's see. We've got an event there, and what we're going to do is get the event there. Yeah, we need to get the actual event type, not just the thing. Right, okay, so event. And do I have a list of types in the... yes, in the documentation here, look, there's a list of types. So we want company merger, company bankrupt. That's what we actually want. As somebody with ADHD, I'm impressed you are chugging through it. Sometimes it's just about doing it. Well, I've never been diagnosed, but I've been told that I'm on the ADHD spectrum, I've been told. And to be honest, it wouldn't surprise me. But the only thing I really know for sure is dyslexia. Right, so there we go. If the company's bankrupt, we're going to grab the event and the company ID from the event. Okay, and then we're going to do something. And then we want the same for if we have a company merger. Now the company merger, I mean that local variable is misleading there. That naming, that's terrible naming. So in theory we're going to be handling 4 events. 3 for now and 1 when version 15 comes out. Okay. Line 108, line A15 lead different convert, of course. Yes. Oh, biscuits. Yes, of course. What I need is these in here. Let's rename this to bankrupt company event. Okay. And then this one would be merger company event. Okay, so now at the moment these events don't do anything, but they're there to be processed. But they need to do something. Been messing around with changes to the main class and cargo tracker throughout, and I think it reads better. Yeah, well, I mean, we don't want to make any big changes all in one go. We do want to do some refactoring at some point, but obviously doing multiple things at the same time can be a bit of a pain, so we need to be careful about that. I don't want any complex merges, please. Please work on different sections at different times, everybody. Make it easy for me. Oh dear. So, for now, because what we can do is you got a separate copy so it doesn't mess around with your script, don't worry. I mean, I understand that, But one of the things that I want to try and avoid as well is throughout the community having like 8 different copies of the cargo tracker script that are implemented in like 8 different ways. Right. Ideally, we just want to have one brilliant cargo tracker that we've made between us. I don't think that's what you're saying, Chexo Kid, but it raises an interesting point. Let's not fork this 28,000 times and have 28,000 scripts that have like one feature in each. Let's make something that is brilliant. So I think what we'll do is, because we need to reuse the company ID, and the company ID needs to be on the table, and I think it needs to be unique, we'll remove it off the table, or maybe just blank it out, and we'll put it into logs. We'll log it. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the documentation and find out if we can remove an element from the table. I don't think we can. So let's go back. Let's go to the... let's minimize this. So it is the league table. And in league table, we can check if it's valid, check if the elements are valid. I mean, we don't do any of those checks at the minute. We just hope for the best. You can create a new league table and a new element. You can update an element. You can update a score. So the element consists of a number of things, including data and score, and you can update them. Remove element. Yes. Good point. If you just want to mess around with it, then there is no need to create a fork. Just clone the repo and play as you please. Yes, just you know, grab a clone, play around with it. It's your own little code. Do what you want with it. Obviously, the license still holds, but I'd rather us collaborate on one amazing thing, if possible. There is a remove element function, so we will use that. So let's go back to the code. The only problem is that we're actually probably going to have to set up a game and have somebody go deliberately bankrupt, because it can be difficult. Oh, hang on. Just need to refresh chat. There we go. It can be difficult to get AIs to go bankrupt sometimes. Although, check tomorrow's video out. There's a different story. So, when a company goes bankrupt, we want to remove element. Now, let's have a look at the update element. So, this is the code here for updating the element that we want to deal with. So let's use that as a bit of a guide as well. So this is update remove element, and what we're going to do is we're going to check the documentation again to see what the actual parameters are. It's just the ID. It's just the ID of the element, nothing else, as I expected. But you know what? It's good to check. So the ID is going to be the company league table element IDs from the company ID. And that's it. Okay, we're removing that element. Now, before we remove that element, I would like to print out the value to the log so that we've got it somewhere, right? So over here, we work out the previous amount that the cargo delivered. It's saved here. Okay, that's where it's saved. Okay, so there we go. Alright, we probably need to put that there. So this is the value of the amount of cargo for that company, and we're going to log it. Now, if we go up here, you can see this is us logging various different things. Cargo delivery table, test header, yeah. And it looks like, yeah, I want to put a new line at the bottom of there. Mighty Joe, never happening. So then we are going to output that information. So here we go. So we're going to go to the log. We're going to do an info log. We're going to say... oh, hang on. We need to get the name. Where do we get the name easily? GSCompany.getName, company ID. Fair enough. So company, and then the company name, and then is OpenTTD program in Rust? No. The script is Squirrel. So company name went bankrupt. They had a score of, and then we'll put the score in, which is this value here. Okay. Oops. Deleted too much. So, we get the event information, we log it out and remove them from the table. Done. And what we'll do is we'll do exactly the same for a company merger, except we'll just change the text. I don't see the need to leave spaces there. That's all one main thing. So here, we'll chuck that in there. And the only difference is we're going to say, not went bankrupt, got bought out. Let's see. Trying to do, you must remove the company from the list. Yes, that is something else we need to do in those objects. Oh, cool. Right, okay. We'll get to that in a second. Just want to check I've done the right thing here. Company name, it's got bought out. They had a score of the company. Right. So yes, they need removing from the company league element IDs. Okay, so it needs it needs removing from there, but it also needs removing from the company delivered cargo data list as well. And I can't remember the syntax for that, so we're going to have a quick look at the documentation. So, let's see. This is a squirrel thing, part of tables. Let's have a look, see if we can have a look here. So this is, oh look, slot deletion. It was right there in front of me. Okay, where's the tables gone? Table constructor. Syntaxes can be mixed, delegate, clone, array constructor, tables construction, slot creation, slot deletion. The deletion of a slot is done through the keyword delete. Really? Hang on a minute, is that slot deletion in tables? The result of this expression is that the value is deleted from the slot. Oh, the value which is deleted from the slot is the result of the expression. Okay. It'll print... Okay. So in theory... this doesn't feel right. This syntax is quite different from other stuff I've... This? That doesn't feel right. You could add it to the table in the script so you can call it or use it for another league table. Maybe, but I'm focusing on completing this little feature. Yeah, this doesn't seem right to me. But looking at the documentation, I think it should work. And then we'll do exactly the same for a company merger. So if there's a company merger, we delete the company. Now the only problem is, get company ID from the company merger event might get the wrong company. It might get the one it merged into. So we're going to have a quick look at the documentation for that. So get the merger event is the event company merger. Right, let's go have a look at that. Are you guys playing bingo again? Okay, events. Company renamed, merger. Okay, here we go. So, here we go. Get old company ID, get new company ID. So you can't get company ID. Now, if we have a look at the bankrupt one, it's just get company ID. But for merger, it's get old company ID. And that's the one we want. Okay, we don't care about the new one. If we wanted to put in the debug to say this company was bought out by that company, then we'd need it. But we're not doing that. Okay. So here, where it says get company ID for the merger, we need to do get old company ID. And then all this just should work fine. Okay. Hey, Thomas, welcome. Confusing. It's not confusing, Brandon. It's makes perfect sense. So, in theory, we've added a bankrupt and merger feature. Now, merge is quite easy because I can just go in and do a hostile takeover. That forces a company merger. So we can test that. And you know what? If this works, this should work too, right? Right. Mark Jensen says, I bet $50 it'll work. Oh, that's it. It has to work. Should work. You know, you can make spelling mistakes and all sorts of things. Right, let's get rid of that. No, actually, let's keep that for a second. Right, let's save this. And what we'll do is we'll go back into the game and we'll start it again with a few AIs and we'll do a hostile takeover. Now, how are we going to do a hostile takeover? Yeah, we'll be all right. So, I've saved it. I'm running my script to transfer the files, and we're going to go over to OpenTTD. Now, we're going to need some AIs to test this with, so we're going to come out of this game. We're going to AI settings, add a few AIs in. In fact, let's add all of the AIs in, it's fine. New game. Let's make it a slightly bigger map so we don't step on each other's feet quite so much. Here we go. If I unpause it, hopefully there's no errors. Good. Oh, what's this? Ooh, we've got a warning, an error. Expression expected. 113. Yeah, you see. 15, yeah, 15 AIs. 113. Okay. What do you mean expression expect? Oh. There you are, look. We've got a typo. We've got a semicolon. We don't want that. The semicolon is just there, and it shouldn't be, and that's fixed. Didn't need that. You don't put that in a function in a function declaration like that, do you? Okay. Save it. Transfer the files, and reload the game. Restart. Right, we're in. So let's have a look now. Let's have a look at the debug. Ah, good. No errors. Okay, so we've got this here. Let's pin that. And we've got the company league table with all the different names of the companies. Pin that as well. And we don't need to do anything. We're going to just cheat in a load of money, though, because we're going to buy out a company. So we'll just fast forward a little bit until hopefully one of these companies places a HQ into some passengers. There we go. Uber Swarm's done it. Has any of the others going to do it? There we go. Right. Let's pause. Okay, folks. So if we have a close look at things, we can see that we've got our cargo delivery table, and it's got some values there. We're tracking the passengers, and we've got our tracker script here. It's got the cargo ID that we've got it set to, and we've got the cargo IDs that in the list there. Now, in theory, if I go and buy out Uber Swarm, it will trigger the event, and it will put it in the log and remove it from the table without errors. So, should we try that? So, Uber Swarm, hostile takeover. You ready, folks? So we're looking for them to disappear off the table and to log it and no errors. Okay. Mostly worked. Mostly worked. So, if we come back over here, you can see Stairs Pike Sister Pike, sorry. I got it right all last stream. I just screwed it up. Yes, we've added save and load features to the script. We're doing all sorts of other event handle stuff. It's great. It's all going great. It's gone. It's gone out of here as it should have done. They're no longer listed in the cargo delivery table. However, down here, we've got this problem of company null got bought out and they had a score. So we don't know the company name at the time that the event is triggered, unfortunately. I wonder if the... No, because the only thing that's in the bankrupt event... Yeah, we can only get the company ID. Now, we can just give the ID there instead. Should we do that? What do you think, folks? Rewatch the bits you missed. Okay. Yeah, we've got a problem here. So it comes up with the transport company merger. That's fine. They get removed from the league table, and this message is almost okay. Didn't think about that the company doesn't exist when we're trying to access the name. Now, if we were doing like new company, that'd be fine. The news can show the Uber Swarm name though. Huh. You know what? That's a good point, Mark. The thing is, though, is that news isn't done through the script API, right? There is a lot of things that are in the game that doesn't go through the API. Yeah, so if we have a look at the documentation again, you can see that we can only get the IDs. We can't get the names, right? Ideally, what we'd do is go to the developers and say, "Hey, you know this the GameScript event company merger object? Can we have a function that gets the old company name?" And then they add that function, and we just use it. But we can't. It is not possible. So, instead of using the company name when they get bought out, we'll just give them the company ID. Right? Company ID, and then the ID got bought out. And I think, given the options available to us, that's the best we can do. Can we do a company name grab before you delete it from the list? Oh, no. I don't think you can, Chicks Kid. Nice idea, but we could actually just store the company names. If we really, really wanted to get around this problem, we could store the company names. Okay, so at the moment, we have the ID, and that's fine. But, yeah. So, we can't grab it from the league table, because you can't read from the league table. For some weird reason, There's functions to update values in there, but there's no functions to read from the league table. Okay, and it's only going to the log, right? Yeah. So we can't grab the name of the company. It doesn't exist. But what if we saved it to a data file when it's updated? We could do it. Yeah, we could save them as variables. So we could add that feature if we wanted to. Do you guys want me to do that? I mean, I will. If you guys really want me to do that, I will do it. Yeah. But in the future, you'll need it when you put bankrupted companies in the table. Maybe. You think it would be neat, says Vadchuk. Things were going so well tonight. How does the game get the name for the news event on the screen? So the game can do all sorts of things. It can do loads of different things. Okay, it's there. It's there in the game, but we're using the game's API, the script API, the game script API, to access like things going on in the game. So we are limited in the script as to what is exposed to us from the game through that API. Right, we're doing it. We're doing it. So, up here in the data, we're going to get the company names. Okay, so we're going to put that in there. Then, when we instantiate a new company, we are going to get the company names table, and we're going to get this company name here. We're going to may as well create a new local variable. Because we use it multiple times. If you're just doing it once, you call the function. If you're doing it more than once, you call the function once, add it as a variable, and then do it. There's no function in the API. Yes, so the game knows, but there's no function in the API, and we use the API from the script. So, company name equals that. And then here, where we're putting the company name in, we'll just put our company name variable. And then here, where we're putting this 0 into company names, we'll put the company name in, right? So every time a company is created, it will populate the company names with the company ID. Yeah? Then, we can use this company names. Really, I think that should be a this. Right? Because that's a class variable. Anyway, then we can use that down here to put the name in. So where we had get rid of ID, and instead of company ID, we do company names company ID to read the name. Same here, and then we delete it like that. So we can read the name and delete the names out. 10 out of 10 solution. You know what? I think it should be alright. You must save the data. I'm saving it here. Okay. So the new data structure is declared here. We are creating the company here. That's where the company. Now at the minute, company rename doesn't do anything. Oh, biscuits. We're going to have to put that in there as well, aren't we? So when the company name gets updated, we need to put the new company name in. That should work as well. So we're going to... Oh, no, hang on a minute. No, wait. No, we need to update it. Which... Is that the right syntax? Yeah. Yeah, it is the right syntax. Oh, in the game save and load. Oh, okay, yeah. Square brackets would be better as... will be a table and you'll have a row with elements in it. Sorry, Chexo Kid, not 100% following you there, but I'm just going to add our new data table to the save and load functions. So we're going to say save company names is equal to this company names. There we go. We need a comma on the end there. And then we'll do the same down here with the key value for the save company names. And then we'll do company lead to... Okay, there we go, there we go, there we go. And that's the loading. Saving and loading is added at that. So I think we're good there. Right. So I've added the feature for us to track the company name. The only problem is that we're not handling the change of company names up here. In fact, for now, I think we... Bear with me a second. We have code to remove, don't we? Yeah, look. Every time we update the name. Every time. We should do that for now. So do we have company name? Yep. There we go. We're updating the company name as well. In the temporary code. Sounds good to me. Should we give it a try? Transferred the files over. Let's jump over to OpenTTD. And we'll do exactly the same as what we just did. So... no. We'll restart. And we'll fast forward. We'll let the companies come. We'll let them get on the table. There we go. A few of them are on the league table. And we're going to go and buy out Uber Swarm with our sandbox money. And hopefully this time it'll work much better. So hostile takeover, yes. And then at the end, well, is it the end of the month? I don't know. They're gone. And there we go. The name works. Okay, so Uber Swarm got taken out there. And the name situation, company Uber Swarm got bought out. They had a score. Okay, so the feature works. The name feature works. Indeed. It's good, isn't it? So what we'll do now, though, is we need it to come back. What is a table in Squirrel? A 2D array. It's basically like a dictionary. It's a key value pair, yeah. Right, apparently I've got a typo on line 113. We'll double check that in a minute. Is it an array of dictionaries? I believe a table is just like a dictionary, Jackie, but I'm not 100% sure because I'm not that familiar with Squirrel. Now, in theory, Uber Swarm will come back and that company ID will come back. So, if we fast forward, the company will come back, and I think it did. Oh, I missed it. What's going on? How many AIs have we got? Let's see. Frame rate. Did Uber Swarm come back or not? Doesn't look like it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. Yeah, 14's not there. Oh, there you are. Swarm's not there. Does it have to... It should come back. Yeah, it's currently missing. Horsey, hang on a second. Oh, here we go. New transport company launch. Uberswarm's back. Okay, there we go. Uberswarm is back. ID number 14. They're back in the cargo delivery table, and it didn't cause any errors. Okay, so we correctly removed the IDs as necessary, and it was coming back. Yeah. Didn't expect to see some programming here. Nice surprise. Yeah, I don't think Twitch has a programming category. So if I'm doing any programming, I just put it up. The stream died for you? I think that is just for you, I'm afraid. Right then. So that seems to work. Definitely works for company merger. And to me, if company merger works, then I'm sure the other stuff will as well. And we can always test that later. Now, saving and loading, we need to test that as well. So let's save this as cargo tracker test 2. There we go. So we should have 813, 501, and 494, those values there. So if we now load that second test, there we go, we're back in, and there's the cargo delivery table as it was. And the game script's the same there as well. It says loaded settings from data, from save, with version of script. I'm not sure I like the location of that and so forth. There is a dev category on Twitch. Maybe we need to start using that. So let's just nip back to the code and just check that line that got shouted out in chat. 113. Right, what we got here? Yeah. I'm not sure why, but there is a C here. The letter C. Look at that. Okay. A letter C just crept in. Not sure how or why. Probably from a copy. I didn't press Alt or something properly. So, there we go. Let's get rid of that. Now, there was an important message here. Yes, an important design question. Do we want to add the merged company's points to the new owner's company? And this is something that I said earlier on in the stream, but I said we'd have to make a decision. I don't think we have this table with company names after loaded, if I saw correctly. I don't think we... Hang on a second. I think we don't have this table with company names after loaded. You mean... You think this load didn't come up? I mean, you won't see it. It's in the background. Yeah. After the load we just did. Merge another company. Okay. Yeah, let's... I mean, if you think we want to test by merging another company, let's do it. Let's take over AI. No, that's not perfect AI. We want AI. There we go. Hostile takeover. Yes. So they're gone. And the company's bought out. So the name did get loaded. Okay. Jobs are good. We can add entries to this table after the company create event. Yeah, it does. Yeah. No, after the load is not empty or null. It's all good. Not had seen hostile takeover before. Hostile takeover is what replaced the shares system when we got to version 14. So the devs went, shares don't work as intended. Let's just get rid of it. But then there was like, oh, hang on a minute. How do we get them? We need something. And hostile takeover was put in to replace shares, essentially. Now, obviously, it doesn't get into the whole marketing thing, but here we go. You need to add new variables to save and load functions, or else it will be lost. I did add it to... I could have sworn I added it, Jexo Kid. Let's go back and check. Company names. Yeah, I've added it there. Right, there's the load. And there's the save. Yeah. Hi, it's your first time here? Brian, you're diving in at the deep end, mate. Right? Normally, I do a little bit of nice let's plays of OpenTTD, a brilliant free transport game. And sometimes I do tutorials and stuff, but we're doing development on scripts for it. So yeah. Shares were open to abuse. Yep. Shares had problems. They got rid of it and just put in hostile takeover instead. And that's what we've got here. So from what I can tell, everything is now good with that. Okay, so let's go and have a look at our to-do list. So we now handle all of these events, right? So let's delete that from the to-do list. Oh, look at this. It's getting really small. I like it when some things get really small. Just making sure you did not see that part. I had to step away. No problem, no problem. Good to check. Good to check so. Right. Now, I want to get this language thing done pretty soon, right? No need for space in line 216. Yeah, that doesn't need to be there. That's probably just me smashing the keyboard for some weird reason. Now, we're going to use the lang file. This. Okay. Now, we've got this here. And what that does, I don't know. Okay. Let's have a look. Do we use that? No. No, we don't. We need to start using this because it allows us to format things and pass stuff through properly. We don't really need to do it for info. Oh, actually, do we need to do it anywhere? Just looking, Lord. Pretty sure you can bankrupt AIs with the stop AI command. You can. Yes, you can. In fact, I did that. I did that yesterday. Yeah. Found this for the table script. Oh, I'm not sure that. I'm not sure that's directly relevant to what I'm doing right now. Okay. So I'm not quite sure what we want in here, to be honest, to use the langs. I mean, really... Oh yeah, that's the info there. So we do the load first? Okay, let's do that. You can use it for table titles if you're going to hard code the cargoes in. Yeah, okay. So I think one of the reasons you might use it is it avoids this kind of concatenation. And also, obviously, you can put different languages in, which is going to be potentially important. That's probably the main reason to use it, right? So if we look, I'm going to try and find an example. I think the simplest city builder's got loads of language examples. Yeah, it has. Okay. So this is the English text, like, see, and it says, company has claimed town. Company claimed town. Yeah, new HQ placed. You know, that's something we haven't done is the detection of a HQ being placed or not being placed, but to be honest, well, we have got that. It just ignores the company until the HQ is placed. We could actually ping the company with a message and just say, hey, you need a HQ. Hey, you need a HQ. And there's some like informations that say like place your HQ in a town with less than blah blah. I don't know exactly where that's used, but yeah. And then we've got these dummy ones here, which is what we're kind of using at the minute. Can't we remove the need to build a HQ? You can do, Mark, but then like which town are you tracking the cargo? Right. The HQ tells you which town you are delivering your cargo to. Okay, so you can choose where you're delivering the cargo and put the HQ there. So it's possible that multiple companies can deliver to the same place. Yeah, It's a way to track the town and move it. So, this here, look, is an example of a string title that we can put in. And it has no parameters at all. It's just some text. Okay, so let's use that as an example in our cargo tracker. Okay, we'll put our example in. And we're going to do the saving settings data. Okay. And what we might do is I was going to say we might have a saving settings data and then saving finished, but we'll just keep it like this. So instead of having that text there, okay, we'll have the text here. It doesn't need to be white. And this is the string for saving. Let's ask ChatGPT. That's a bad idea. ChatGPT can say, if you go to it and say, hey, what is the syntax to do this in Scroll, then it might help. It might be able to do it. But if you ask for something in OpenTTD, it probably doesn't have a clue and it'll guess and guess wrong. But if you give it your code and say, hey, what's the problem here? It might go, hey, you've got an extra comma there. So if you use it in the right way, it can be a useful tool. You can't just outright says it won't know anything. It's the way that you use it and how you use it that's important. So we're going to get this string, we're going to use it. So the example here was the story title. Now I don't know where in the code for the Simpleton City Builder where that was used. It wasn't in there. Save load? No, save load. Minor info, goal progress. It was used in here, look. There we go. So there is an example of where the text is used. Partially behind my head, unfortunately. There you go, look. So in our code, instead of doing this log GRFs info and this string, we want to do this text, and the text wants to point to string saving. Okay, and there we go. Rasmus, welcome. Now, that's kind of like level 1. That should be fine. Or level 0. This is now level 1, where we've got actually a variable, a value to be passed. So, I mean, I don't know if these dots are going to work, but we'll give it a try. Now what we need is something. An example where there's just a little thing. Let's see. So you got town is supplied, town is not supplied, missing service. This is all text that gets put in the game. Let's see. Town is missing cargo list. So there you are. Look, it's taking a variable and throwing it in. Just looking for a nice little example. You cannot claim a city. Oh, company cannot claim a city. Company have not found any town nearby. So here's an example where we're doing not complain, right? So this is definitely not lessons. This is me finding my own way. So let's use, we don't need the to-do list open at the moment. Let's put this one in. This is a string for, it's going to be for loading. So that's saving. This is going to be loading. Okay. Ugh. These are all off kilt. Hang on a second. Let's make sure that we've got them all in alignment. There we go. It's not going to be company. It's going to, and it's not going to say have not found town nearby. It's going to have the text for this, for the version. So let's get this text. Hello? There we go. Let's get this text and we'll chuck it in here. And instead of version, we will put this. And it's not company, it's something. I don't want those dots. There we are. Used to tinker with Red Alert 2's ini files. I used to, yeah, I remember I used to tinker with like name files and ini files and stuff, and used to like get, I used to get different things to say different stuff, and I can't remember what it was. Rasmus says, fact about what people call AIs, large language models. Know about areas of expertise. If one hits one area, they give a good response. But if they not, they give a bad answer. I mean, yeah, I mean, they're trained on certain data, and if the data doesn't align with what you're after, or you know, something goes wrong in the interpretation and within the model of the output, it doesn't always give the right answer. And that's why at the bottom of every chat in ChatGPT, which is a large language model, a type of generative AI, it says ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check important info. At the bottom of the page. And the dangerous thing is it can do it confidently wrong as well. Right, it's just next to my head here. So let's see how this here. Now company. Maybe the ID gets passed, and company is something special, so I'm not sure about that. Yeah, look, here's one. There's a number, where they're passing a number, then there's a comma, and another number. Ah, yes. There's a number and a percent. Okay. So we don't want the company. I think we need to say the data type, and we're not going to be. We're going to be passing a version, which I think should be a number, right? Let's have a look. What options have we got? Looking at the example. I think the version is a number as well, so we're going to do the number. Okay, so it's not company, it's number. Okay, so then we'll look at the example of where Stringtown Funded pops up. Oh god, where's that going to be? Maybe in Town Nut? No, not in town. I wonder if it's probably not in Maine, right? Oh, it is. There. Okay. So you can see here, it's calling the GS Text Town Funded, and it's passing two things into it. Okay. So we want to be doing something similar. In the info, we're going to be using this. It's not Town Funded. We're doing... Oh, I did lowercase. Oh. Loading. Right? Ah! There we go. Weird. That was a weird... Anyway. Loading. String loading, right? So here, we're going to take string loading, and for some reason, this one looks like it took two variables. 1 and 2. Yes. It's 2. So instead of these two, we want to be sending 1 in. And the one we want to be doing is the version. There we go. So let's get rid of those nuts. Hellish, are you trying to parse a string? No, I'm just sending the version number into this GS text function, and hopefully it'll work. So we're going to save that, and then I'm going to transfer my files over, jump into OpenTTD. Now we need to reload the game, restart. But then once we restart, I'm pretty sure we can just load, and it should just work. No. Ha ha ha. Okay. Please report it to the author. I will definitely report it to the author. The weird thing is, though, is there's no issue. It's just broken. It's just... Oh, hang on a minute. Here you go, look. So, I'm not sure about that. So when we load, the cargo tracker comes up and goes, no, error. So let's have a look and see what might be causing that. No, that's a celebration thing. Yeah, we don't want that. Try loading from the main screen. Okay. There you go. Exactly the same. We did a restart. We do a load. Still get the error. Okay. So there's something about what I've done which isn't right. We need to have a little look at that. So this is what I've done. Let's see. Okay. Just trying to log this. Oh, I didn't save this file. Look. This little tiny white circle here means the file's not saved. That might be the problem, right? It's trying to access something that isn't there. So if I save that, retransfer the files over back to OpenTTD, restart it, okay, and then load. There we go. It's not broken. Although this is weird. Okay. So it hasn't outputted what we want, but it hasn't crashed. Damn you, little white circle. Damn you, little white circle. You little naughty circle. Yeah, so we need to fix this. Why? So it's bringing up some sort of... So I guess we're passing... I guess we're not passing what we think we're passing, right? No, we're not doing ASMR. So we are expecting a number. Alright, if I just... Boop. There you go. We're expecting a number, but I don't know what this version is. I'm going to have a look into the documentation and see what I can find out. So, I wonder... Is there anything in here? No. Oh, I tell you what there is, though. Is it part of the data structure? No, I don't think that's it. It was the name of my undead priest from World of Warcraft, and the name stuck. Yeah. Version is the get version function in InfoNut from what you saw. Yeah, InfoNut, yeah. Okay, so here we go, get version. Okay, returns true if the game script can be selected from... Oh, that is developer only. Get version, here we go, here we go. So it returns the version number of the game script. So when we use... Go back to the code. So when we use this version variable... Well, I suppose it's not a variable, it's some... I do have it set as 0. There's nothing wrong with it being 0. 0 is a number. It's got to like 0. Okay. I want it to be 0. I mean, we could just maybe raw string it instead of num it. You had it as a 1. I mean, we can test that. We can test it, right? If I put 1 in, and then copy the files over, after saving them this time, and we restart the script, load the game, it doesn't like it. Can you show... Oh, hang on. Hang on. Doesn't like it. Index 2 does not exist. What? Okay. I think the load function crashed or something. Oh no, we've got 2 cargo delivery tables now. This shouldn't happen. It might be a bad load. Tell you what we'll do. Just in case it's a problem, we'll start a new one. Yeah. And we'll save and load. So there we go. We've got one of them with a score. Save that. We'll have a look at the debug. See, that didn't work either. Even that doesn't work. This didn't work. Oh, hang on, you can't see it. This saving string didn't work. Something I'm missing. If this didn't work, the other one's not going to work, is it? String saving. Let's have a look at some examples. We're missing something's a bit of a miss somewhere. So there's one example. Okay, of that being used, of the GS text. You can have a look at loads of examples. Okay. This one seems to be... That one says string change and it's in lowercase. Oh, I see. Because that's a local variable. See, saving isn't working. If saving isn't working, it's all broken. Put that back to 0 temporarily. So the way in which this is working, it might need a colour in front of it? Really? Hang on, let's go back to our example. There's the string of a town being funded. You know what? They have all got colours in front of them. I think. These ones haven't, but they're just strings. I'm not sure what a string 2 is. That seems to exist as well. Town from a town object, company from a company object. Not all of these actually start with a colour. Vadchuk says it has a default colour, it can't be that. Line 30 and 33, not 34. Yes. Yeah, those ones don't have a colour, so it should be fine. I don't think you have to have a colour. Okay. So I'm wondering why this doesn't work. Tabs and spaces? Oh, it can't be that, right? Well, I do actually notice that none of these have got full stops on the end. Oh, actually, maybe some of them... That one's got an exclamation. No, there we go. There's one with a full stop. So it's not the full stop. Right? I mean, you didn't load the game. Should it only show the save string on saving? Yes! And when I saved, we got this. So, I don't know why we got that. So we need to solve this first on saving. Then we can look at loading. Oh, DP pointed something out. The GS text is for the user interface and not for the console log. And string 2 is for nested strings with parameters. That's why. We're trying to use it for console stuff, and we shouldn't. We should be using it for user and UI elements. So the example that I started with was a bad example. So we're going to undo it all. So we were trying to do the right thing to the wrong thing. Right, so in here, we want to put this back. And we want to put that back. Because they're logs. Oh, we'll try what Mark says, I think. So what you're saying is that we get rid of this function and just use that. We'll give it a go. Okay. If I've understood your theory correctly, then I've just done it. We nip into OpenTTD, restart it, and then presumably there's no issues. No, nothing yet. Then if we go save over number 3, because that's what we're doing at the minute. Got number 1. There we go. It just seems to dump the memory location of the object. Yeah, I know. I did wonder what they were. They're like, they looked like memory locations, but then I was like, well, how's that helpful? The second string ID 1 or something. Yeah, we need to have a look at that. Oh, hang on a minute. Are you talking about doing it the other way around? DP says I don't know a way to do it the logs with the strings in the log file. That's fine. We're just experimenting a little bit at the moment. We'll go back and do it properly in a second. So restart, save, wait for a crash. There we go. Doesn't exist. The memory location can be very helpful in debugging. I actually needed the memory location of something once. So that's what happened when I saved the game. We got this crash. Which kind of to be expected. That's what I kind of thought would happen. But I was like, yeah, well, fine, we'll give it a go anyway. Okay. So we'll go back to the code, we'll put it back to how I had it. For the logs. And we'll do it with something else. Okay, so what we'll do is when we create the league table, let's have a look. Here, we've got a test header. Don't want that. We don't want anything in the header, right? So we'll leave that blank. We'll do this cargo being tracked. Yeah. I think it didn't work because it was because it's the log file. Anyway, we're going to do it here. Okay. So cargo tracker in the cargo tracker lang file. Yeah, the English is there. Yeah, it is there. So let's implement it here because this seems like a good place to do it, right? So again, what we can do is we can look at our examples. Yeah, let's... it's a relatively simple thing. It should be quite straightforward to do. So what we want is... we're going to get this name from a cargo ID. And we're going to pass it in as a variable, right? So we'll do that. And this is the cargo being tracked string. And that's a string. And it's going to be cargo being tracked. Okay. Can we, if possible, keep your chat in the YouTube chat? So then we can do this as... we'll do a short version. We'll call it cargo tracked. There we go. So we got cargo tracked, with cargo being tracked, and then a string. We'll save that. We'll come over here. Make sure we're using that, and then we will replace it. So in theory, we have actually changed nothing at all, but we can do colors. So first, let's check to make sure we haven't broken. I need raw string. String is another string in a language file. Okay, okay, hang on a second. I need raw string. Thank you, DP. Okay, let's jump over to OpenTTD. And we'll restart. And if we look here, it says cargo being tracked, passengers. So it still works. Okay, we haven't broken anything. Let's try and make the word passengers a different colour. What colour should we have it? Oh, no, let's go to the right place. You guys are looking at the right thing. I'm not. I can't see that. There we go. Also, I feel like I want a semicolon or something. Oh, hang on a minute. Apparently, I can just pass in the cargo ID and I can use cargo list instead of raw string, which is a good way of doing it, right? Because it reduces the complexity here. Okay, let's test that. Let's test that. Okay. Oh, it says nothing. Doesn't work. I did either it doesn't work or I did something wrong. Yeah. Joomla looks to be open source. Yes, you can. Yes, it is open source. But the problem is, if you make a change to it, you can't then update it using the automatic updatery stuff. Okay, if things go wrong, if you make changes to your version, you then have to maintain that. And we're not going down that route. I tried it once, and I 100% regret it, and will probably never do it again. Hang on a minute, I've made a mistake. Right. Oh, hang on a minute. Right, hang on. We've got a bit more information about this and what I might have done wrong. Hopefully we're going to learn something. Okay. So I threw the cargo ID in, but apparently not the cargo ID. It's a bit mask. Okay, since it's a list. Oh, it's a list. So for the cargo, you need to set the nth bit. So you're saying I have to actually do this? I don't like lists. Now, Python lists, great. Lists in Squirrel, brain melt. One day it'll click. Lists in most other programming languages I'm happy with, but I'm not happy here at the moment. It's working now. Here you go, look, I've just restarted it. It now says passengers. Okay. Thank you, DP. So, the reason why we've done all this messing around, is so that we can specify colors and stuff in the interface, right? So we can come in here and go, okay, we can say black cargo being tracked, and then we can come in and be like, okay, let's make it orange. Upgrading is a pain when you change the code. You did that for something else. Yeah, never again. See? Never again. I mean, I don't know why I chose orange. It might not be the best colour. But also, I want a semicolon in there, but I feel like that will break it. You can do commas. Is there some documentation for this lang file and the things that you can put in it? Let's have a quick hunt around on the website. Excuse me, folks. Apparently, doing lots of work constantly and talking constantly gets to you. Right, so. There's a controller. There's the data structures. Script types. I mean, this is the API, and I don't think it's going to be documented in the API. I was just wondering if it was, and it's not. Fair enough. Oh, there's lang format documents. Okay, let me have a quick look at that. Oh, right, okay. Format of lang files. Well, we're saving this. Okay. So here we go, look. We've got a general layout, comments, list of plural types. Then we've got cases. Changing word order, keys and translations. Writing the string. Got some examples here. String as a number. There's some information. Ah, here we are. There's an example of a comma being used there. Is there anything else? Oh, apparently there's genders. It looks like neutral has been added for some reason to this. Is it talking about genders of language? I was going to say in OpenTTD, I think there's only 2 genders, but that's OpenTTD. And general layout, comments, yeah. I'm looking for I'm not sure, but I think I just scrolled down a page and gave myself vertigo. I used to suffer with vertigo. It was around 10 years ago. It was at its peak, and then it got better. No, I haven't. No, I don't know what it was, but I'm all right. Yeah. It's just I noticed that they used this particular notation here for putting a comma in, and as you can see, comma parameter is given. Oh, hang on a minute. Plural forms. That doesn't look like what I thought. Okay, so it might be okay just to put the text in that I want to put in, and it should be fine by the looks of it. Okay, let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. So all I wanted to do really was put colon in there. Let's test that and see what happens. Alright, copied the files over, jumping into the game, switch you guys over, restart, and it works. Okay. I like that. I'm not sure I like that the full stop's in orange as well. There is a table of special strings on the wiki. You don't know if you can send a link. Okay. I mean, to be honest, we're alright for now. Well, I think I've got something stuck in my throat. Comma is a comma-separated integer. Yeah. When I read the documentation, DP, I figured out that it wasn't what I first assumed it was. I thought it was like, comma is a special character in here, so if you want a comma, you can use this format. Remove the dot. Yeah. Alright then, we'll remove the dot. We'll remove that dot. Okay. That's code. Dot gone. Right? Good. So I don't think this is being used, so I'll remove it. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's not being used. So there we go. We successfully used the file for one thing. And I think pretty much everything else... Oh, you know what? We actually need this because I'm going to do another one. Okay. So in here... We've got this cargo delivery table title, and I'm going to use that as well. Okay, so instead of cargo delivery table there, I'm going to pass it in the raw string here, and we're going to just throw it in there. Because then, if we put another lang file in, we'll be alright. The only problem is that really that should have its own. That should have its own thing. Okay, it shouldn't be just using that. Okay, so string table title. I think. Is it the table title? Yeah, it's the league table header. It's the title. And then we can just put that in there. Save that up. Throw that in here. Doesn't need anything else. That should work. Let's give it a try. There we go. Cargo delivery table is still in there. Table header. I think it's the title because there's a header in there and a footer. So I don't think it's the same thing. Depending. Well, well, well. Here, look who's coding. Shh. There you go. So it's exactly the same as it was, but now we're using it. Needs a trailing comma. I think that might have been implied. Let's have a look. Code. Yeah, let's put that in there. You'd put the track cargo in the header instead of the footer? Fair enough. I agree. Kind of want it to have a minimum width. Is the file extension really nut? Yes. So if we're doing UI elements, we're using the GS text features to make sure that we can have different languages and stuff. A lot of this is just being pumped out to the logs though. Okay. So I think that might be all of it. Because we've got all sorts of bits that go out to the logs, which is fine. Like saving and loading data and the list of cargoes. And in this here it says cargo ID. Like, so what we want to do is that wants to be more descriptive. Selected cargo ID. Okay. So it tells you it's the selected cargo ID. We're still missing one big thing. So I think that really was it. Let's push my changes across to the game and restart it. So now it says cargo being tracked, passengers, and then there's the list of the things in the table. I went a bit close then. Yeah, I overdid it. Right? Now we need instructions, don't we? Okay, so if we have a look at our to-do list, we used to correctly use the lang file, which we've just done. Does this game have plug-in messaging channels for mods so the client can talk to the server through it or something? What? Well, I mean, what we're doing now is we're making a script that the service that's run on the server side. Okay, so now we need the player info and instructions. Okay, now obviously I need to do the README file. I will do the README file, but I won't do it here now because you don't want to sit me trying. You don't want to sit and watch me trying to type words and spell things. Okay, it's bad enough when I have to do messages in the script and stuff. Yes, so all the scripts just run on the server. Did I say that? I hope I did. Right, but if you make a client-side script, how does it talk to the server? It doesn't. There are no client-side scripts. If you connect to a server, it just uses the script on the server. If you run a script in your client for single player, you are the server. Right. Now, we need to explain to the user they need to place their HQ, right? Which way should we do that? Should we do a news thing that pops up? Should we do a news thing as a welcome? I don't think news things should be a welcome, right? I would like to do a little pop-up that says welcome, I think, and tells them that they need to place their HQ near a town. So, how's that handled in the Simpleton City Builder script? Because I've seen them do that, right? Oh, usual place for long instructions in the storybook. It's not going to be long instructions. It's just going to be short instructions. It's going to be like a hello, place your HQ to claim your town. You can have a pop-up message on game start. Yes, that's what I want to do. You can tell them they're evil fish if they don't place HQ. That sounds like a brilliant way of doing it. For short ones, they're pop-up windows. Yeah, I think because the instructions are relatively straightforward, place a HQ to claim, and then when it's claimed, we do a pop-up. Maybe. I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure. Because we know we look for the HQ every time. Because at the minute we let them move the HQ. So if the HQ is different to where it was, we don't know. Oh god, I'm going to regret saying this. Do I add the feature that tracks whether the HQ's moved? And if it has moved, we notify them saying it's different. I feel, and remember, we're going for minimum viable product here, right? I feel we just pop them up, tell them to place their HQ with a pop-up message, and then that's it. We don't need to do anything else. Okay. And potentially we could put full instructions in the storybook later, maybe? But for now, I'm not sure we really need much more. Let's have a quick look in the example script we've been using, the Simple City Builder. Is it possible to disable moving the HQ? I don't think so. Yeah, we're keeping it simple. We can add features later. We want version 1, right? So, I'm actually just going to read through this and see what's going on. So we've got our class variables. And we've got some things in the constructor. And we've got some functions listed. And this is the start. And it does whether to get more logs or not. Maybe we should do something similar at some point. And it says if there's some starting companies and you do some bits and bobs. Fair enough. And then it says prepare, story start. Let's have a quick look inside. Oh, there's no definition for story start. Well, I bet there is story start. Process and sleep. So this is the function for process. Yep, looks good. That makes sense. This is checking events, which we know about events. We've done a bit of that. And then there's a daily loop. Yeah, look, there's a claim of a town. Oh, no, I did accidentally go into that. There are... you can't find the definition for that. The IDE for squirrels, not great. But never mind. So then we've got the monthly loop. And what's this one? Are we still in the monthly loop? Yeah, we're still in the monthly loop. That's fine. Yearly loop. This is claiming a town. It gets the closest town, works out whether it's a valid town. Then it gets the Manhattan distance for some reason, and does some IDs and claiming and things. And then it does a news, goal, and a log. But it doesn't do a little pop-up by the looks of it. Let's have a look in the... Instead of having a look at the examples, let's have a look at the documentation. Oh, DP spoilt it. I appreciate DP, yeah. So a DP says it's in the goal question. So you can do a question in the goals. Let's have a look. Goals. That's down here. Right. So, there's a question type, which is a question, information, warning, and error. Which is cool. We can just pop up an information. Then there's question buttons. Okay, no, yes, no, cancel, decline, etc. Oh, wow. Next, stop, start, continue, goes. Presumably you can read in what they pressed and do stuff. Okay, so that's interesting. Gives me ideas for the future, that does. And then we've got set... There's the question. Here we go. Oh, hang on. Question client. Ah. Ask a question to all players in a company. Ask a question to a particular player. You like the surrender button type. This is the one we want. We want standard question. All players within a company. Because we're just going to use the question and say, hello. So, replies to the questions are given to you via the event gold question answer. So you don't get the result back, which makes sense because it might take time for them to click the button. And you don't want to just be like spinning the script waiting for people to click buttons. You fire an event and then you handle the event. So that's cool. Okay. So we got a unique ID to distinguish results of multiple questions for the result. Well, we don't really care about that, I guess. We can give it any ID. The company to ask the question to. Or company invalid for all of them. So I think we'll use that, right? I wonder... I'm just going to check something. Ooh, I found some examples. Let me just see if I can find one that works really well. Oh well, okay. Might be an idea to fire the question when they create the company. Yeah? I like that check so good. Because then if somebody comes in and creates a new company, then it'll pop up and say it then. To all players in that company when it's created. Not if they've already placed a HQ when you load the game. When you load the game though, it doesn't create a company. The companies are already there. So in theory we're fine. Right? So let's jump back to our code. We've got this new company. So that's the league table that gets sorted out. Then we sort out a bunch of variables, which I want to do. And then we shoot them the question. So 0 is the ID of the question. We give the company ID. Then we do a GS text, which we'll come back to in a minute. And then there's this... Oh, God. Can we break this down? Let's do this. Let's do it this way, just so it fits on the screen better for the purposes of a live stream. There we go. So then it says the type is information, there's an OK button. That's perfect for us. Obviously, this text is not what we want. We want some strings that say it's the welcome string. All right. And the welcome string in our... Not in our README. We don't want to look at that. In here. Oh, what? I didn't copy all of that. Silly thing. There's the welcome string. And the welcome string will be whatever we want it to be here. So, welcome to the cargo tracker. Place your HQ near a town and deliver cargo to get scores in the league table. And that should be it. Obviously we can do different colours. And there we go. If you recall, it's a unique ID. If you want them for a different... yeah, that might break. I'm not sure it matters. I think the ID is only for the purpose of pulling it back from the event. right? Otherwise, one player clicking it closes them all. Okay. Ah, right. Okay, I'm with you. And then you can find out which player clicked it. Well, that's fine. Okay, because then that player knows it, right? Hang on a second. Let's quickly go back to the documentation. Question client ID. So you could do individual ones to each client. Look. So you'd have to get every client that is. You'd have to get every client that's part of that company and send it to them. So I think we're okay in this particular case, but it might be something to think about. Okay, right, here we go. Let's see if this works, this pop-up. Okay, we want the welcome message. It should be an information type and an OK button, and it should only happen once. And if we go to spectators and back again, it will probably happen again. So let's transfer our files over. Jump over to OpenTTD. Restart. Crashed. I wonder if that is... Oh, index company does not exist. Ooh. Yeah, let's try it. Let's have a look at what that problem was. Yeah, this is wrong. It's saying the index of company doesn't exist. Oh, look here. The code that I borrowed for the example is a company object with an ID, whereas we actually have a company ID. So it's company underscore ID, not company.id for the way that we were implementing this. There you go. They're the sort of things you have to be able to work out and figure out with code and stuff. Let's go back to OpenTTD and give it another go. Yay! I mean, it's a question. It shouldn't be question. It should be info or something. You found it at the same time? Ah, yes. Welcome to the cargo tracker. Place your HQ near a town and deliver the cargo to get scores in the league table. Done. Simple, straightforward instructions. If you want to know any more, tough. Now the problem is that says question. Do we give me credit in there? Right, so it's coming through as yeah, look. It's some information. But it said question in the box, and I don't really want it to say question in the box. Let's have a look if there's some other options. It is a question, but I was just wondering if the question type affected it at all. So let's have a look. Yeah. Have I got it down as question rather than information? Let's have a look in the code. No, I've got information. Yeah, that's a bit weird, that. Because we got an information one, and it's popped up as question. And I thought it was supposed to say information. Let's see. Bear with me a second. I'm just checking a few things. Right, so this one, that's an information goal button start. 113. Oh no, it sorry, it is just question. They're all questions. All the functions are questions, right? Or have I misinterpreted the documentation? I think I got it right. So look, question. Like there isn't a information. There's a question, and the question has a question type, and that question type can be information. So I think it's always going to say question. That's and I think that's how it's just working. Maybe question type dot question information. Try error. Okay, why not? In fact, in the documentation, look. In the documentation it says, shows an informational message, title information. So let's throw that error in there. Right, I've thrown that in. Have we found a bug? I hope not. Oh, it says question again, even though it's the colour's changed. It still says question. Where's it getting the window title from? Is it broken? Does this not work properly? Have I done something wrong? Look. Here, look, it just popped up. It's a red question box. Your script's welcome message also says question. Do you need to ask it his favourite food or something? Maybe. By the way, folks, the general convention I think I'm going to use for naming scripts and things that I work on is I'm going to call them MH and then the name of what it is. And the MH will just show that it's part of the Master Hellish community workshop thing. Can you send a link to the docs? Yeah, sure. I think that's the link to the exact bit I'm looking at. Yeah. So this is the... So let's go through the documentation. Okay. So it says for the question function, you send a question type. Okay, so there's a unique ID, a company ID, some text, the question type, and buttons. And it says in the question types, you can send question, information, warning, or error. And it says asking a simple question, title question. For showing informal message, title information, warning, and error. Right? I wonder if the type isn't set properly, then it defaults to question. Let's go back to the code. Oh, hang on everybody. We've got an update from DP. DP says, yes, I see it. someone broke it while refactoring. So basically it looks like somebody's done some stuff and it always says question now. So it's an OpenTTD error. We have found a bug. Okay, so we can put this back to information in our code. DP says it's a problem. Is there not just a text box function? There is. It's called question. It's a question box. That's the function. Yes. Live bug founded. I think we have managed to find a bug before within the community, or two. There we go. Depending says, can you link where these docs are? Yeah. Oh, so yeah. Sorry, Twitch chat. Keep forgetting about Twitch chat. There you go. There's the API link to the API docs over on Twitch. There we go. So in theory, as long as we leave our code like this, when the bug is fixed in OpenTTD, it will display correctly. Okay. So let's go back to the game. And we'll just reload. Oh, I didn't transfer the files. Transfer the files and reload. Hang on. Save the file. Transfer the file. And reload. There we go. So this in theory should say information at the top at some point. I kind of want that title to be white. And I think the Master Hellish cargo tracker should be in a different color as well. But I don't think I can control the title, but I can control the rest. Right? So let's do that. The Master Hellish cargo tracker. Should we have that? Well, should we have that on orange as well? Here we go. Let's try orange. And I suppose to keep things neat, we'll put black at the beginning of these. Black seems to be the default. And then we'll save that. Transfer the files this time. And restart. There you go. Welcome to the Master Hellish cargo tracker. Place your HQ near a town and deliver cargo to get scores in the league table. Well, viewers, passengers, Hellions, whatever you want to be called, I think that's version 1. I think that's it. You start the game, you get a lovely little pop-up telling you to do the basic thing that you need to do. On the league table, in the league table. Alright, yeah, on the league table. Okay. And then HQ is headquarter, that is true. It says build HQ in OpenTTD, so I'm following convention there. The AI will not take note. The AI will do whatever it wants to do. But we have our own little league table. It tells you the cargo being tracked. It gets the company names whenever you create a new company. It works with multiplayer. You can build your HQ. It will track the passengers. You can load and save. It works for pretty much everything. The basic stuff. Can anybody think of anything we're potentially missing? What about... I mean, what we could do is like an end of year who's winning. Like a summary. Like who's currently in the lead each year. That pops up in the news. We could get it to pop... Right, here's one, folks. We could get it to pop up in the news if the leaders changed. That would be an interesting feature to add. I mean, I'm not adding it for version 1. You could take a run and jump if you think I'm doing that for version 1. Right. News notification on leader change. Is it possible to graph all the companies? No. We need project treasure and assign features to people to work on. What, you mean... Oh, no. Well, maybe. Anyway, we'll see about that. But the to-do list is now empty. Okay? We've got nothing to do on V1 apart from possible new features. So news notification on leader change cargo mid-game, give points rather than adding up scores. I just kind of, rather than adding up the cargoes, I kind of like just adding up the cargo. But we could do a points-based system. Check for moving HQs, maybe a parameter to allow it. So what we can do is we can say, have they placed a HQ? No, forget it. No, forget it. And as soon as they place their HQ, we log the data in a table and we just use that from now on. Okay, so even if they move their HQ afterwards, it just stays to that one place. And then if there's other features that we want, we can add possible features, we can add them to this list. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys just like 1 or 2 minutes just to shout out the features that we've talked about that you think could potentially be added here. Points from each cargo type. I mean, we're only tracking one cargo, so then like track multiple cargoes? Track multiple cargoes? Maybe that's a feature we could add. Chaser Kid's already looking at potential things. What else could we do? What else could we potentially do? Track all cargoes. I'll put multiple / all. Okay. It's certainly very possible. Okay. But I don't want to feature creep V1, right? Now, as I feel like this is V1, by the way, this to-do file might come out of this project, and we might actually add the to-do stuff in a different place. But I kind of feel like this is a nice little place for it, because we've got multiple scripts in here. Track the cargo from all of the map, not just one town. I mean, that might, yeah. We'd have to change quite a lot of the script, like to ignore the HQ stuff and go through the list of every town for every company. And if we're doing all cargoes from every town, then you have to do every cargo on every town for every company, right? And that's a lot of checks, right? If you think about it, I can't remember how many different cargo types FIRST has. I think it's like 42. And there's up to 15 companies, right, in a standard version of OpenTTD. And there could be thousands of towns on a big map. I'm going to guesstimate and say there could be, 3,000 towns, So that means every time you're checking the cargoes, you're checking nearly 2 million different cargoes for all the different towns and companies. Every time. 2 million checks, 2 million checks, 2 million checks, 2 million checks. I'm not saying no, I'm just saying it might make it a bit beefy or slow or something. Or it might take a lot of memory. Right? So I'm going to put some question marks on these. I'm not sure about this one, so I'm going to put 1 question mark. Check for moving HQs and whether to allow it. I like that one, so we're going to get rid of that. Change cargo mid-game. I like that, so we're going to have that. News on notification and leader change. I like that as well. So I'm actually going to put these in order. And all towns. It's going to have to be all. I don't track multiple cargoes or all cargoes. Track on all towns. They're a bit bad. Buy a new PC. Just get a new one. Yeah. Might max out the CP for the calculations. Yeah, I don't know. Depends. Is there not event handling to only calculate when cargo is delivered? Says Gamer Clock. No. But what you can do is just inquire at a town and say, hey, how much of this cargo has this company delivered since the last time I asked? And I can show you that. That's something that we did quite early on. So what we do is we get the closest town, and then we have this cargo monitor, and we get the delivery amount. So it's, oh, okay, well, for this company and this cargo and this town, get me the amount of cargo delivered. So you'd have to call this for every company, for every cargo, for every town. And that could be 2 million calls. End of year news notification. I mean, what's the news if it's end of year, though? I'll put it down as a maybe. Maybe we could list like the top 3 and how many cargoes they've got. I'll put it down as a maybe. Yeah. Yeah, maybe top 3. Top 3 or something like that. Top 3 makes sense. You can get pickup amount from town or industry. Oh, we could do industries as well. I mean, we're not going to right now. So we want to track industries rather than towns. Maybe have a parameter for it. Oh dear. There we go. It's cool, right? So, that's the kind of like the ideas that we've collated. I'm just going to go... Obviously, the README file hasn't been done. I will do this, but at some point. I don't know when. I'll do it at some point. What I normally do is I do the little bits after the stream and commit the changes, so it's all rounded and done. Oh, we can't do version 1 if the README file's not finished, can we? I'll have to do it. I'll have to do it in the morning. I'll do it tomorrow at some point. I'll do it tomorrow and I'll commit these changes as V1, right? So in the info, we're going in here. We're going to put V1. Now this date, I think it's going to be the last updated date rather than when the script was first made date. Okay, so it's the Master Hellish cargo tracker. There's a description which we need to do. Oh god, yeah, we need a description. And then this day is, I think, today's date. So let's put the 15th. There we go. And that's the Master Hellish cargo tracker. And then the URL for the website. Need a description in the info. Yes, it also displays in the... Yeah. What we'll do is we'll take the inspiration from here. So this is the welcome message. So what we'll do is we'll take the welcome message and just rework it for the description. So now let's do it from scratch. Tracks the amount of a particular cargo delivered to a town closest to a company's HQ. In a league table. Okay, so it tracks the amount of a particular cargo delivered to a town closest to a company's HQ in a league table. It's not the best description, is it? I might rework that description when I do the README. Okay. So we can have a look at that and what it's going to look like in the game. So if we go game script settings. Oh, I broke it. Yeah, I've got rid of a bracket, haven't I? No? No, I got rid of a semicolon. There we go. Yeah, that look. Let me just fix that. And if we jump into the main menu. Oh, I might need to restart the game. I think I fixed it right. Yeah, it looks like it. So nobody else has any more suggestions at this point? Link is not showing in chat. You'll check YouTube. Sorry, it shows now. Oh, it's still broken. Ooh. Have I got a typo or something? Let's have a look. I mean, all I've changed is the text up here, this number, this date. Is that... That looks okay. Ooh. Oh, I'm not looking in the right place. Oh, what a complete nana. Oh, no. There it is. It's the Master Hellish cargo tracker. Author, Master Hellish. Version 1 tracks the amount of a particular cargo delivered to a town closest to a company's HQ in a league table. So we accept that, ask you for the ID. If you don't know what the ID is, then you can just start a game with the script, and in the debug it tells you the IDs of the game that you're currently using. We've got 2 selected. 2 is male, so if we do that, jobs are good. And I think we have made the first basic mod. Where's all... And if we unpause, we get transport companies launched. We've got our pop-up that we can get rid of. You can see the cargo currently being tracked as male. So there's probably going to be 0 scores. If I fast forward, you never know. Let's have a look at the towns that have placed a HQ, the companies that have placed a HQ. So there's a HQ down here. But they are not doing mail, they're just doing passengers. Oh no, wait, there we go. Some companies have done mail. That's cool. Okay, so now we have a lot to do so the community can get to work. Little bits. Little bit of ad chuck. Let's take it steady. Okay. Now, that is brilliant. I feel quite happy about this. I mean, like an experienced OpenTTD modder would be like, yeah, so what? That's what, it's a league table and counting some bits. But you go back 5 streams ago. I didn't know the language. I didn't know any of the API. I didn't know where the files had to be stored. You know? And to get to this point, I'm quite happy with that. Not bad progress overall. We've got a little bit of a nice little debug screen there as well. So, my only remaining question tonight is, what's next? Okay, because I do have lots of different ideas, and there's only certain things that can be done, right? The API has its limits, unless we want to go and mod the API. No. No, we don't want to go down that route. So what? Yeah, it's good. Fantastic, fantastic indeed, Robin. Fantastic indeed. Yeah, what's next then, everybody? I mean, this cargo tracker's quite nice. I think that's quite good. We obviously have the victim counter. Not changing the API right now. We have the victim counter that TM Biscuits has been working on. I don't know if we're going to pull that into the Master Hellish workshop with the rest of the stuff. I have got a stat tracker that I've been working on. Do you guys want to see the stat tracker script? Do you want to see the stat tracker script working, everybody? Yeah? Well, wait until tomorrow, because I use it in tomorrow's video. Hey! There we go. We're not going into a GRF yet, Vagchuck, I don't think. Not just yet. I want to get a little bit more comfortable with all this sort of thing. But yes, there is the stack tracker script. That tracks a few different statistics, and it pops it up at the beginning of each year, and you will see that in tomorrow's video. It was used brilliantly, I must say. Yeah. Should try and make an evil fish kill script for the future OpenTTD screens. A bit of fun. I mean, if we have a very quick look at the API, we might be able to do that. Oh no, would we? No, because you... Right, because you can't monitor what a company just did, right? So you can look at the company, you can look at like all their different pieces of information. But if there was like some sort of event or list of tiles being bombed by company, then you could potentially do it. An auto counter for trains crashed. We got that. We got that. That all right. Look. Stat tracker. The stat tracker tracks wrong place. Number of vehicles in the game, the number of crashes, the number of bankruptcies, and the number of mergers. Now, well, trains crashed. Okay, I don't know about trains crashed. Maybe we could have that separate. But that's what the stat tracker does already. The vehicle counter is pointless because it's inside the stat tracker. I might get rid of it. You have the game change, says Robin. That could be a potential feature. Like maybe every year it chooses a new cargo. Yeah, money tracker instead of looking at the graph. Hang on a second. So what you want is a league table with everybody's cash? I think that'd be very easy to do. I mean, I have no idea why you'd want it, though. Anyway. That is the current status things. Maybe changing mode to reach a number of certain items. Yeah, a random. It changes the cargo randomly, like every year. That'd be quite interesting, wouldn't it? So there we go, folks. The cargo tracker script version 1, apart from the documentation, is done. Now, obviously, there's some little improvements we can do. There's some features we can add, and that can happen in the future. All right. DP says changing the API isn't that hard, but you have to wait a year or two for it to appear in the game. And that is why the Destruction Disaster Challenge is waiting on version 15. Getting profit for the selected cargo over time. I mean, you get profit anyway, but you could probably give bonus money, like a subsidy. Yeah. Instead of points, you could give subsidy for delivering cargo to a certain town. So you could basically make a brand new subsidy system. per unit of cargo or something. Yeah, awarding points. Yeah. Hermit, that's actually one of the ones we've got in here already. So give points rather than adding up the cargo. So you hang on a second. There's a moth just landed in my room. Yeah, so first, second, and third each month. Oh, I caught it. Try that again. So like first, second, and third each month would be allocated a number of points, and you get them on the table instead of cargo. Yeah. Who made the largest profit in a year? I mean, you just look at the profit graph, I guess. I mean, you could, I don't know whether you can get exactly that information from the API. Interesting thoughts though, folks. I'll take these into account. If you have any other ideas for scripts and things and leaderboards and stuff like that, come over to the Discord, okay? Make sure that you go over to the appropriate channel, the Mod Dev channel for OpenTTD, and come and shout out. Let us know. But I'm going to wind it down there. I've streamed for nearly an hour longer than I originally planned. Normally I aim for 2 hours and let it overrun a little bit until we get to an ending point. But we've overrun a little bit more. So watch out for, you ready? An OpenTTD video tomorrow. Then an OpenTTD short on Sunday. On Monday, we will not be having a community gaming night. On Thursday, we are skipping a week of the Season 11 Let's Play of OpenTTD, and I will be doing a special Settlers 2 Let's Play. And there will not, unfortunately, folks, there will not be OpenTTD Mod Dev next week. This stream will be skipping a week. So, Community Gaming Night and Mod Dev are both skipping next week. Okay? Over the next few weeks, it's going to be a little bit on and off because of the school holidays and things. But I've got plenty of cool videos coming up, and things are going well. So enjoy. So thank you very much, everybody. I will see you in the videos over the weekend, and I will see you in person on Thursday. Okay? Take care, everybody. Thank you for watching, and for now, goodbye.